It started as a small act of kindness, 5,000 rand to replace a stolen coffee machine. It's ended as a 686,000 rand in a national conversation about generosity, integrity, and the men and women who serve. When Hawke's warrant officer Karl told the Matlanga Commission that his coffee machine, his only safe space, had been stolen from his own office, South Africans responded in a way no one predicted. To unpack how one campaign captured a country, I'm joined by Swanepoel, Chief Growth Officer at BackaBuddy, the platform behind it. Catherine, thank you so much for speaking to us. So let's start with the number. 5,000 rand was a goal. You closed at 686,000 rand. From where you sit, what actually happens inside a campaign for it to run that far past its target?
Well, look, 685,000 rand, 2,800 donors. So wow. 2,800 people came forward and contributed that amount of money. I mean, it's always so amazing to see this kind of generosity coming out of the South African public when people stand up to do amazing things like this. We don't often see campaigns like this, and when they come through, they're really so heartwarming and amazing to see.
Now, of all the causes on your platform, why do you think this one, a coffee machine, if you want to call it that, moved people the way it did?
Well, I think, you know, at heart, we all want to believe in a certain South Africa and want to stand for a certain South Africa. And when you see somebody stepping out there and doing something like Colonel Sanda did, you know, the power of every single South African just making a small donation, saying, you know what, we've got power in our hands too. We want to give you a message. We want to say to you, look how grateful we are. This is the kind of civil servants that we want in our country, and we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And what I also really like about this, you know, this campaign wasn't set up by Warrant Officer Sanders at all. This was set up by his friend, Karl van Reenen. I think he used to be a paramedic or worked with Warrant Officer at some stage. So he saw this playing out, and then he decided to be brave enough to stand up and say, you know what, let's get together as South Africans and let's have this amazing act of generosity towards this person to thank him for all his years of service. And I mean, look what's come out of that.
So is it about his act of service? Is it about the fact that this guy's a police officer and his coffee machine got pinched, or that he was implicated in stuff that he was actually innocent of doing? Is it a collation of issues that have resulted in this level of support?
It's probably a collation of issues, and who really knows what moves people? But it's so obvious, the transparent nature of crowdfunding. You know, it's always the crowd that comes behind the campaigns to decide they want it or they don't want it, or they support it or they don't support it. As you said earlier, you know, this target was 5,000 rand, and all of a sudden it just pulled on the heartstrings of the South African people, and they said, no, 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 we're getting behind this. And our team at BackaBuddy has been speaking to Warrant Officer Sanders and his legal team around how the funds will get to him. And what's been so heartwarming to hear is that some of the plans that he's got for the money, I mean, we hope he gets his coffee machine, but he's talking about things like getting 2 specially trained drug detection dogs for some of the police stations or SAPS officials. He's talking about purchasing modern narcotics testing kits for some SAPS members. He's talking about a training facility for when he retires. And that really, for me, is heartwarming to see the kind of individual we're talking about here. You know, if it was my money, I'm not sure I would be so generous. It would probably go straight to my pension plan.
So, Catherine, here lies a potential problem, right? Warrant Officer Sanda is a serving police officer. So can he simply pick up 686 big ones and walk away? Walk us through how BackaBuddy handles a campaign also that outgrows the reason that it was started.
So this campaign, it's a unique campaign, or it's a unique situation because Warrant Officer Sanda is still a serving SAPS member. So because he's a serving SAPS member, you can't just hand over an amount of money like this. This is a big donation amount. There are certain rules and regulations that SAPS has with regards to donations and gifts and bribery and corruption and all of that. So we have to work together with Warrant Officer's legal team. And we're currently busy completing a legal mandate documentation And all of that money, so it's sitting at the moment with BackaBuddy, with us as an organization. It will be transferred into an attorney's trust account, where it will then sit until Warrant Officer Sander has completed the SAPS process and the required process, at which time he then will get his money from the attorney's trust account. So we are really making sure that all the donor money is accounted for. Trust and transparency is exceptionally important to us as a platform, and we just want to reassure the generous South African public that their funds are being taken care of.
Now, as the campaign took off, right, copycat pages appeared. How big is the risk of mirror campaigns to donor trust, and how does a donor know they're giving to the real thing?
Okay, that's also very interesting. I mean, we've been around for just over 11 years now, and potential scammers and fraudulent campaigns is certainly not something new to us. We've got a verification system and a verification team at BackaBuddy. We've got the functionality where anybody who finds a campaign potentially suspicious, they can report it to us. We also require identification documents, supporting documentation. We work with the banks to make sure that the bank accounts are actually verified FICA bank accounts. So if these campaigns do not meet our requirements, or there's any kind of suspicion in terms of, is this a scamster, is it, not legitimate, we can immediately pause the campaign and stop it and refund the donors. So before any campaign is paid out on BackaBuddy, they go through a verification process. So anybody can set up a campaign, that happens automatically, but once money is actually moved, the campaign does go through a verification. Look, it does cause some friction, and we understand it can sometimes be frustrating to have your campaign verified, or even if you make a large donation, to go through a FICA process. But these are the things that we need to do because we exist for the donors. We are here to make sure that the donors trust the platform and feel confident to donate on it.
Catherine, this isn't the first SAPS Link campaign. There was the Mkhonazi Fund too, I believe. Are you seeing a pattern of South Africans wanting to back individual officers directly? And what does that say about public trust in institutions?
Oh, it's a difficult question, and I'm not sure I really know how to answer it. But I will tell you that our CEO Patrick Schofield and I have often have discussions around this. And our platform as BackaBuddy, we're very clear in terms of where we sit, and wanting to make the world a better place and increase the positive social impact across Africa. And now there are a lot of also politically aligned campaigns coming forward, and the South African public saying, hold on, we want to start taking things into our own hands. We want to support other types of campaigns, and trying to decide, look, is this for us at BackaBuddy? How can we handle this? So it is challenging. We have many campaigns that we sit and we discuss at an exco level. Is this in alignment with who we are as a brand? Recently, we had a campaign that we took down that we felt wasn't in line with our brand, that some of the viewers might know. But yeah, so I'm not sure I really answered that question.
Is that the Pete Viljoen BackaBuddy that you cancelled?
Yes.
You cancelled?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't want to mention that specifically, but yes.
I got there before. You just walk us through why that didn't align, or why it may have been cancelled.
Okay, so look, first of all, the campaign was also brought to our attention by many of the viewers, and we discussed it in detail, and we just, according to our terms and conditions, we at any time can decide this campaign is not in line with what we stand for, or it is in alignment with what we stand for. And because of the amount of the public outcry and interest as well in this particular campaign, saying how they felt about it, we also want to be open to listening and hearing. And we just felt, as an executive committee, it wasn't in line with who we are as an organization. And I think I'll just leave it there. And we paused the campaign and refunded the donors that did come through. Look, there weren't very many donors, but we did refund those that did come through to the campaign.
All right. Well, I'm happy to leave it there. Catherine Swanepoel, Chief Growth Officer for BackaBuddy. Appreciate your time. Thanks so much for speaking to us.